Good evening, baseball fans. How you doing? We got an update on the lockout. We had a meeting today between Major League Baseball and the Players Association. We have some new rules coming for next season. We will also be doing a Q&A tonight. Let's get to it. And what is going on, baseball fans? Hello, hello. My voice has returned. A few days of rest. It helped very much. What is going on, everyone? How are we doing? I'm seeing a lot of familiar faces in the chat. What's going on? Zachary Goldstein, one of our moderators. Hello. Paul is here. It's even in his name. Paul here. What's going on? GC, hello. Simply Fog. Backstage Baseball, CB Philly Cards, Edwin NG, Stinging Rays. What's going on? Who else we got here? Stony814, Shadow, J Fish, hello, Quinn Johnson. What's going on? How are we doing? Great lover of music. Man, oh man, we got a lot of people in here. What are we doing here? Nelson, what's going on? Smalls, you're killing me. I need to get a shirt that says Smalls, you're killing me. I got to get like some Sandlot shirts. I got to watch that movie again. It's been a while. I got to refresh my brain on that. Speaking of the Sandlot, have a bit of an announcement coming up here in a little bit. Stay tuned for that announcement. What else we got here? Jay Fish, hello. Lionheart70, what's going on? Jacob Toon, one of our members. Jack Palomero, Frankie, King Yellowman, Backstage Baseball. Everyone, hello. How are we doing? Happy Sunday. Baseball Sports Talk. Pat, what's going on? Frenzy Man, what's going on? Hans, Joe, Aiden, Jake. What's going on, everyone? How are we doing? Hope everyone had a good weekend. I definitely had a good weekend. Why? Because I had my voice back. It felt nice to be able to talk again. H. Witt Draka has just subscribed. Welcome to the channel. I will be doing a Q&A tonight. So if you would like to ask a question and have it possibly answered, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm only doing a subscriber-only chat for tonight. So you know you want to hit that subscribe button. Just do it. I know my face looks pretty terrible, but just subscribe. We're talking baseball here all the time. But everyone, we got some news on the lockout. We had a meeting today between the Players Association and Major League Baseball. We got some new rules that are coming into the game for next season, whenever the heck that starts. But we will be having some new rules that I think are rather interesting. I would say the reports today, it was looking like didn't maybe go so well. But I feel like there was a little bit of movement. Maybe not as much movement as we would have wanted. Major League Baseball, they didn't really feel like there was a whole ton of movement. Me personally, I don't know. That's negotiating at the end of the day. You're always going to have both sides saying, oh, no, they didn't offer all that much. Their offer wasn't great. That's negotiating 101. So I think could it have been better? Sure, but it's just going to be slow and steady. The players, they did not do well on that the last CBA negotiation. So the players, they're going to dig their heels in. This could take a little while, but we'll get into it tonight. But everyone, like I said, if you are looking for more baseball news and content, hit that subscribe button, and that way you can participate in the Q&A tonight. I'm not going to take too long with the lockout update. I'll take some time answering some questions. Everyone, please, let's get to 100 likes tonight. Hit that like button. Everyone, hit the bell notification so you get notified of any live streams and videos upcoming. And hey, share any of the content if you can. Everyone, I have a bit of an update before I do get into the lockout. This is pretty cool. This is really cool. I'm glad we have... How many people we got in here right now? We got 95 people in here right now. This is a really cool announcement. I'm glad we have people in here. I was not sure if this was going to happen or not. I mean, this is not me that is putting this together. This is another YouTube channel. But let me just share the screen. If any of you are aware of the YouTube channel, 5 Points Vids, okay, big YouTube channel, he has put together quite an event. I mean, this is honestly just wow. I can't even believe it. He has put together an event where baseball YouTubers will be going up against a minor league baseball team. I forget what minor league baseball team. I feel like it's the Kalamazoo something. I can't remember the name. But it's an actual minor league baseball team. Baseball YouTubers. I mean, good grief. We got all of them. We got Mark. We got Fuzzy. We got Foolish Baseball. We got all of them. And also, we have me. I'm going to be in it too. I got in. I'm in. So I had to do a little bit of an edit here, but here I am. I'm going to be in the game. Yeah, GC, we're going to get absolutely annihilated. But what a fun event. I mean, this is going to be absolutely insane. Whoa, we got a new member, Luis Navarro. What's going on? How are we doing? Welcome, new member. Paul here is also a new member. What's going on? How are we doing? Oh man, we got new members like crazy. Wow, 2 new members in a matter of like 10 seconds. Wow, thank you so much. But yes, we are going to get absolutely annihilated. I went to the batting cages today, tried to get that old swing going from back in my high school days. I was not very good in high school. I'm more of a talker when it comes to the game of baseball, and I mean, even that, I'm not very good anyway. There it is, the notification for Paul. Paul, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Wow, 2 new members in a matter of 10 seconds. But hey, went to the cages today. Went to the cages, and yeah, you know, I was going up against some 60-mile-an-hour fastballs. I mean, I was getting up to them. I was, you know, it's been a few years since I've swung the old bat. My shoulders were not feeling so good after, but man, I gotta say, this is quite the event. What a cool thing. I mean, there's a lot of like smaller YouTube channels in here. I mean, there's going to be a lot. It's going to be really cool. And you know, what a cool experience. This is not just for me, but just for all these guys, you know, and just to get onto the field. I mean, this is like a once in a lifetime kind of an event. So, June 1st, it's going to be in North Carolina. And, I mean, I'm honored to be able to participate in something like this, but, what the, I don't know. Me going up against, you know, 90, 95 mile an hour pitching. I don't know, man. I don't know. Who knows how it's going to go? We'll have to see. Maybe they'll adjust some rules because, yeah. Honestly, I just want to see. Look at that edit of Foolish Baseball. Are you kidding me? Look at the edit. Look at him. That is like the best Photoshop job I have ever seen in my life. But I just want to see him just take some swings, take some hacks, you know? And, but yeah. But I'm in the game. So, let's get to it, everyone. Let's get to the lockout. 5 Point Vids, thank you for putting together that event. He was able to pull strings, and man, I don't know how he did it, but he did it. So, what a cool event. I'm not sure how it's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be. I'm sure it's going to be a live stream. I'm not sure how or who is going to be streaming it. I have no idea. I have no details at all. We just found out about it this weekend. So, you know, Salty Wings, you're saying here. Oh, we got a super chat. Cameron Breton. Where are you in Florida? Grew up in college in Gainesville. I'm in Central Florida. I'm in Orlando. So, that's cool. Yeah, you're not too far away. You're not too far away up in Gainesville. That's about like an hour and a half, maybe. Hour and a half, 2 hours, I think. Yeah, sounds about right. But yeah, Cameron, thank you for the super chat. But yeah, I see Salty Wings, Foolish Baseball will use stats to win. I mean, honestly, Foolish Baseball could just be the manager. You can just have him manage the team. He would probably put together a lineup to be able to beat a minor league team. He'll take all of our advanced analytics. I don't know what he'll do, but he'll figure out a way for us to win. We're going there to win. So, but let's get to it, everyone. So we have an update on the lockout. Meeting again today. They met in New York, and it was just, once again, it was the negotiators. It was an in-person meeting between Major League Baseball and the Players Association. So let's get to the details on that. So let's go to some comments made by Major League Baseball today. So this was via the Associated Press. We were hoping to see movement in our direction to give us additional flexibility and get a deal done quickly. Glenn Kaplan said. He is the spokesman for Major League Baseball. The Players Association chose to come back to us with a proposal that was worse than Monday night and was not designed to move the process forward on some issues. They even went backwards. I don't know if they really went backwards, but simply put, we are deadlocked. We will try to figure out how they respond, but nothing in this proposal makes it easy. Unsurprisingly, the union did not agree with the league's characterization of how things went down. You know, this is negotiating. The players, they have said the same things about the owners. So, you know, it's all, you're going to see this kind of back and forth when it comes to negotiating. That's just simply how it is. And in case any of you, need to know, how I feel about everything, I'm down the middle. I feel like that's my responsibility as, someone that is covering baseball. To me, to just pick a side, I feel like that is not a good use of my time, and that's not a good use of your time as a viewer. I feel like you need to be able to see it from both angles. To me, I'm not, of course, I want the players to get compensated, but, I understand, I have, again, I don't have like direct experience with labor negotiations, but as a teacher, I have seen, teacher union negotiations with the county. So, I kind of just see how this stuff works every single year. So you're always going to see this kind of back and forth, all this hoo-ha. This, I swear to you, I have seen this in an email. I swear, like, every single year I've been teaching. That, like, when they say, like, oh, they went backwards, blah, blah, blah. I swear to you, I have read that from the county probably every single time they've negotiated something. And the same thing from the teachers union. It's like a copy-paste, basically. So why? It's leverage. So, don't get emotional about it. Don't take it personal. It's just negotiating. So let's go over the details here. So here is a recap. I'm going to give credit to CBS. I feel like CBS really does a great job at breaking down all of it. I mean, all the other websites do as well, but I really like just how CBS has it always set up. They use the bullet points. Just really nice it's for me at least with my potato brain, it's always nice to look at. So here is a recap of the proposal. This was per Evan Drellick, so I'm not saying CBS, this was per them, but I just like how they set it up on the website. So what the union did, the bonus pool. Let's start off with the bonus pool, the pre-arbitration bonus pool. So those are the players that are in years 1 through 3 before they get to arbitration where they can negotiate their salaries. So for the bonus pool, the Players Association wants these players to be able, based off of performance, to get a bump in pay. We'll get to the minimum salary here in just a second, but their prior proposal was $85 million, but they did lower it to $80 million. I feel like that's what we're going to see. I feel like we're just going to see slow, drops from the Players Association, slow increases from the owners. But there is still a gap of $50 million. So today, they also talked about the CBT. The union did not come off. This is where I would say is the big holdup, is the CBT. And I can really see it from both sides. Super chat coming in. Matt Rhodes, what's going on? What's your best guess of when the lockout ends? I'll go mid-May. I would like May, beginning of May. I would like right now. Can we do it now? Is that possible? Can we just get this done? But I'll go mid-May. I don't know. I would love to say May, but I feel like, this, I don't know. The bonus pool thing, I'm wondering how big of a deal that is. I feel like the CBT is the big one. So if we actually go, let me just look at the details here really quick. It says here are staying at 238 million, and by the end of this CBA, it would be at 263 million. So the league has countered with a CBT threshold that starts at 220 million and slowly climbs to 230 million. So this would be an increase. So 220, that's an increase of 10 million from where it was at in the last CBA. So that is about $2 million per year that it would increase. So again, I feel like this is the big one where they're just stuck on this. They're, for the first year, they're $18 million apart. You know, if we're looking at old CBAs, let's go back to the old CBA and look at how the CBT was set up here. 2017, 195 million was where it started. Actually, well, let's go to 2016. It was at 189, and then it bumped up 6 million, and then it bumped up 2 million, and then it jumped up 9 million from 2018 to 2019. So from 2017 to 2019, it increased 11 million. So you could just say 5.5 million per year in those 3 years. But then again, it was the slow increments, 210 million from 208. So I feel like personally, I'll go over. So I'm actually going to tell all of you what I would like to see in my own CBA if I were to, make one myself, and I'll go over my details here in a little bit. So, but this was what it looked like before. Again, there was a big jump from 2018 to 2019, right around 9 million there. So the players, they are wanting definitely they're wanting a nice little hike there. If we're looking at, let me break out my little calculator here. So they want it from 238 to 263 over the 5 years. 263 minus 238, that's an increase of 25 million. They want it to go up 5 million per season. Well, if we go break out an inflation calculator, I like good old Tom's inflation calculator. So if we go take a look here, let's say I'll just use, well, let's look at the Players Association first. They want it to start at 238. So let's type in 238 million. That's starting in 2022 and ends in 2026. So if we look at inflation, that is ending at 266.5 million. The Players Association, they want it to grow to 263. So they want it basically in line with inflation. The owners, they don't like to go to inflation because they want to keep that competitive balance in place. That's where, in a way, I can kind of agree, because I feel like it gives those, for the Red Sox, the Yankees, the Dodgers, they're not going to care like if they're going to increase it. They would love for it to increase. It's those smaller teams that I'm worried about. I think the CBT should increase. Personally, if we go to the inflation calculator, let's type in 210 million, which was what it was at last year. Hold on, 210, 123, 123. So let's go 221 to 2022. So you're looking at, 215 million for, that would be based off of inflation. That would be for 215 million for this year. So Major League Baseball, they are starting higher at 220 million. So I'm wondering if that's where their argument is in these negotiations. We're like, well, we're ahead of the inflation curve. So they're probably thinking, maybe that's where they don't have to go, bumpity bump so much. So, however, let's type in 220 million, right? So the 238 to 263, that seems like that's a reasonable increase. However, if we're looking at inflation right now, that seems like 238 seems like a little much. So I disagree with where the players are starting. I don't disagree with their increase because that's right in line with inflation. This is where I think Scott Boras is getting involved. And this is where I think the deal, me and Ballcap Sports, we talked about this on the Thursday night stream. We did a collaboration together. And this is where I think Scott Boras is getting involved. So if we actually take a look at MLB player, whoa, what just happened? What in the world is going on here? What is going on? Here we go. MLB player salaries. Here we go. So let's go to good old Spoke Track. Let's go here. All right, so if we're looking at, let's just go to contracts. So AAV. So again, if we go back to this, they want it to be at $238 million. So this past year it was at $210 million. That's an increase of $28 million. Well, if we're looking at players that are making $28 million, so, go down the list here. You don't have to go very far. Jacob deGrom, $27.5 million. Chris Sale, right around $29 million. That's right in that ballpark. Christian Yelich. Now we're going to, keep going lower. Paul Goldschmidt, Bryce Harper. Look at Giancarlo Stanton, $25 million. Marcus Semien just signed $25 million. George Springer, $25 million. This is where I think Scott Boras is getting involved, to where he represents a lot of these guys that are in this range. So I'm just saying that sounds like a Scott Boras kind of a thing where, oh no, bump it up $28 million. Hey, that's going to help me out. So that's where I think he's getting involved. That's just my personal opinion. I can't confirm or deny that, but there were reports out there, according to Hall of Fame writer Bill Madden, Scott Boras was getting involved. So, and that's why the negotiations, the players, they chose to, at 2:30 in the morning or whatever it was, decided to go home. So he got, had a little birdie tell him that Scott Boras basically told the players to leave. So I think that's very interesting. And I think that's interesting that it just so happens they want the CBD to go from $210 million to $238 million, $28 million. That's a big payday right there. That sounds like a Scott Boras kind of a payday. So that's just my own. I'm just connecting dots. I could be wrong, but I digress. So I disagree, again, with where the players are starting, because if we are looking at inflation, $210 million last year is at $215.5 million for this year. But Major League Baseball, they're going at $220 million. So in the end, I think Major League Baseball is going to win on this CBT personally. DD Graviner, thank you for subscribing, my friend. Thank you. This is where I do think the owners are going to win out on the CBT. I think they will increase it a little bit. I think they'll bump it slightly. So we'll get more into what I think a good CBA, or this part of the CBA. I'll get into my part about that here in a little bit. So that's the update on that. So as for the minimum salary, it looks like they're around $25,000 apart. The union, they want $725,000 with annual raises of $20,000, whereas the Major League Baseball, they're offering $700,000 with annual raises of $10,000. So let's go back to Tom's calculator. If we go to 2021 MLB minimum salary, it was $570,500. So $570,500. Calculate. So that's an increase of around $15,000, but I think personally, you got other leagues that are definitely higher than Major League Baseball. I think $700,000. That's kind of in line. If we go to the NFL minimum player salary, yeah, they're looking at, if you kicked off your rookie season in 2021, you're going to make a minimum of $660,000. So, and in 2022, that's going up to $705,000. So if we go to NBA, minimum salary in 2021, that's they have a bit different. Theirs is actually way higher. League minimum is in the $900,000. So personally, yeah, I think $700,000, that sounds about right if you ask me, because it is in line with the NFL. I know the NFL definitely, bigger company, but look at what these players are making. Just look at the contracts that these guys are making. I think 700,000 is a good round number. Yes, it is definitely more than the inflation, but to me, if the Players Association, they want their younger players to be compensated more, I think get that minimum salary up. I think that's the right thing to do. To me, I think personally, 700,000 would be a nice starting point for me personally. They also talked about the draft lottery. So this one, I think, to me, they're one pick apart on this. The union, they want the top 6 picks. The owners, they want the top 5 picks. So I don't know. To me, 5 is a nice round number, for top 5 picks. So, and then after that. So if I were to kind of look at these 4 things right here, I think personally, the CBT I think they should meet in the middle on the CBT, maybe a little more towards the owners personally, just because when we're looking at inflation, I know the inflation it looked a little different with the minimum salary, but again, I think when you're looking at, the NFL, when their minimum salary is going to be in the 700,000s, I think Major League Baseball, they should be in line with the other major sports leagues. So with me, I feel like personally, and this is coming from a Red Sox fan, I'm a fan of a big market team. So I want those other teams to be able to have a chance in free agency. These mid-market teams, where I don't want the Red Sox and the Yankees to run wild. I want the Red Sox and Yankees to be a little more strategic with their money. Look what happened with Dave Dombrowski. Dave Dombrowski was spending money left and right. Their payroll in 2018 was so high. Good thing we got a World Series out of it, but look what happened in 2019. Didn't even make the playoffs, and they had an incredibly high payroll. So to me, I like the CBT because it keeps teams in check. If they want to go over it, they can, but they're going to have to pay the consequences. So that's just me. And I guess also Major League Baseball, I'm not sure. I didn't see it anywhere today, but it looked like I read somewhere that Major League Baseball said there won't be about the penalties. Again, I don't quite remember the details, but it looked like there weren't going to be like the big penalties like they were suggesting. So anyway, let's kind of just review everything. We'll get to the new rules here in a second, but let's kind of review everything here. So let me kind of just pull this up for you, just a quick little cheat sheet. So Major League Baseball, they want a $220 million CBT, increasing to $230 million by 2026. They want a $30 million pre-arbitration bonus pool, a $700,000 minimum salary with $10,000 annual raises, and I did a typo here. It's supposed to say the top 5 picks. Sorry about that. The top 5 picks. And for the Players Association, they want the CBT to start at 238, increase to 263, an $80 million pre-arb bonus pool, that went down $5 million from their last offer, $725,000 minimum salary with $20,000 annual raises, and the top 6 picks for the draft lottery. Let's go over what I think it should be. So here's me. I'm the new commissioner of Major League Baseball in here. So I think the CBT, I think it should be at 225. Let's bump it up a little bit, give a little more flexibility. That's a $15 million increase from last year. Hey, $15 million, that can go a long way. That can be an extra, that could be one extra player from 10 to 15 million, or maybe you can get a couple of, maybe a bench player, a reliever with an extra $15 million. And I think increase it $5 million per season. Have it go up to 2026, have it go up to $245 million. So if we go back to the inflation calculator here, so I had it starting at 225, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So from 2022 to 2026, so 252 million. Again, I'm a little more towards the owners on it. So again, if we go back to what I was saying here, I had it ending at 245, right? Actually, did I do my math right? 5 million, 10 million, 15, 20, 25. Oh no, that should be 250. I'm sorry, I made another typo. This should say $250 million for the CBT. So that is, again, going back to the inflation calculator, that's right in line. Maybe a couple $1,000,000 less than what inflation should be in 2026. So again, I am a little more I'm a little more cautious with the CBT. Personally, that's just me. So let's get back to my CBA here. For the bonus pool, this is where I want to go more towards the players, personally. I want a $50 million pre-arbitration bonus pool, and I want it to increase by $2 million per season. So let's go back to the inflation calculator. 1 second here. Whoops, hold on. All right, sharing the screen. So $50 million starting in 2022. By 2026, that's going to be looking at around $56 million. So for me, increase it by $2 million every season. It'll be $60 million by the end of the CBA. That's being ahead of the inflation curve right there. So I am more towards the players when it comes to the bonus pool. So let's go back to my offer here. I'm okay with $700,000 for the minimum salary. However, I think this is where you can compromise. $700,000 is what the owners want. The players want $725,000. The owners want a $10,000 increase, while the players want a $20,000 increase. So I say start where the owners want to start and increase it $20,000 per year. I think personally that would be a good compromise. So by 2026, the minimum salary would be $780,000. And personally, I'm okay with a draft lottery for the top 5 picks. That's just what I think. So let me know what you think down below in the comments. What do you think of my CBA? That's what I would do personally. I think you should go, CBT. I go a little more towards the owners with that. And with the bonus pool, I do go a little more towards the players because I want those players to be compensated. And actually, I'm sure some of you have seen this before, but I came up with my own bonus pool. I know I've shared this a couple of times, but just in case anyone is new or has not seen this, to me, bonus based off of Fangraph WAR. If you were a 7, you should get a $2 million bonus. A 6, $1.5 million. If you had at least a 5, $1.125 million. And then every WAR that you go down by a whole number, the bonus goes down by 25%. So based off of the statistics for last year, I'm going off of last year's Fangraph WAR. So overall, for a 7 Fangraph WAR, we had 1 player, that was Corbin Burns. In the 6s, we had 3. In the 5s, we had 8 players. In the 4s, we had 16 players, as well as the 3s. In the 2s, we had 25. In the 1s, we had 53. And from 0 to 1, we had 28. So my totals came out to this. If we did 150 players, that would be $77.6 million. For 100 players, that would be $62 million. I definitely could have gone a little lower, but this is where I don't think this many players, should be getting, I don't know, personally, because the top 50 players, I believe, if we go back here, so we had 1 with a 7, plus 3 in the 6, so that's 4 players, plus 8, that's 12, add 16, that's 30, that's 32, right? Did I do my math right? No, that's 12 plus 60, that's 38. Or no, 28, plus 16, 38, 44, and then you add 25 there. So you're looking at, I don't know, 60 players that were in pre-arbitration that had at least a 2 WAR. So do you really need to be giving 100 players that are pre-arbitration a bonus? So I don't know. So if we go back here, so again, 100 players would be $62 million. 60 players had at least a 2 WAR that were in pre-arbitration. Could you go the top 75 and that would, maybe bump it up just a little bit further? I don't know. But this is what, again, it would look like. This is what I calculated. And this is just a very rough number. Some of these players did have contracts already, and some of them were in arbitration. So this is a very, very rough number. But I would think 50 to 75 players, you're looking at around maybe 40 to 50 million, maybe 55. So that's what I think personally. So let me know what you think down below in the chat. Let me know in the comments after this video or after this stream is published. Make sure you go comment and let me know what you think. So let me know what your CBA would look like. So again, this is what my CBA would look like. Again, I'm more towards the owners with the CBT. I'm a little more towards the players with the bonus pool. $700,000 minimum salary. That's more owner, but the increase would be more player. And then to me, I think the draft lottery, I just think 5 picks is a nice number. So if you want to go 6, sure. So Christian, I definitely see you in the chat. The owners probably say no. Yeah, they probably say no. But this is where I think they're going to have to get to. Maybe not these exact numbers, but I think they're going to have to meet in the middle. Like how all negotiations work. I mean, it's just getting there is the problem. So I think both sides right now, they're holding their heads high and they're holding their pride. The players don't want to get bamboozled this time because they got bamboozled last time. In the last CBA negotiations, oh my goodness, they were more worried about like players being taken care of, like, you know, travel concerns and stuff like that, where they just got bamboozled, you know? And so I think the players, they're going to be, you know, and they should stand their ground. They should try and get everything you can. But with the owners, I understand a couple of things that they want to. So, but that's all. Oh, I'm so sorry. The rule changes. So let's get into this here. Let me actually see where I can pull this up. 1 second here. Here we go. Okay, so yeah, let me come back to this right here. Here we go. Perhaps the most notable development in the union's proposal is their willingness to give, and I think this is big on the players. I think the fact that they're okay with these rule changes, that could have the owners, you know, come up a little bit with some things. So I think this is good for the players to do. And in the end, I don't think these are crazy rule changes. I think a lot of these can actually end up being pretty good. Perhaps the most notable development in the union's proposal is their willingness to give Manfred and the league the ability to implement 3 on-field changes with just 45 days notice. Presently, the league must offer the union a year of notice. So the owners, they want to be able, if they feel like something's not working, they want to implement something new. So that's where I can understand. Maybe they definitely want a much shorter, and especially if something is really affecting that season in particular, you know, they could have just 45 days. It seems a little short. Maybe you could go up a little bit on that. So the 3 rule changes that the Players Association are okay with right now: a pitch clock, larger bases, and shift restrictions. So let's go to the pitch clock here. Major League Baseball would like to add a 14-second pitch clock when the bases are empty and a 19-second pitch clock when runners are on base. So they've already experimented with this in the minor leagues. To me, listen, like, I know people are going to go back and forth on this. I know. I'm telling you right now, you know, I work with kids. I work with kids every single day. I'm a 2nd grade teacher, if any of you didn't know. I'm telling you right now, those kids, like, I know we always hear it we hear it all the time about kids, or their attention spans, you know, blah, 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 or just not what they used to be. I'm telling you, I work with kids every single day. It's true. They're, especially this year, their attention spans are a potato. If that's what you need to know, like, it is mind blowing. Like, they're like, I have to redirect these students constantly, way more than I had to before. I'm telling you, adding something like a pitch clock, if you want to start getting more young fans in the game, you got to make this game quicker. You do. You got to speed it up. To me, Josh Beckett, I loved Josh Beckett when he was on the Red Sox. Loved him. But my God, that guy would take his time between his pitches. Hey, whatever. It worked for him. But, dude, you got to speed up this game. Like, even there's times with me where we streamed a couple of we were streaming the playoffs. There were games where I'm sitting here, I was getting tired. I'm sorry, but 4 or 5 hour games, it's just like, you can't be doing this, To me, I would personally, for the extra innings, couple extra innings, maybe go 10th, 11th inning, then do a home run derby. I'm all about it. Do a home run derby. Tell me that's not exciting for people that have, already been at a 3.5 hour game, couple extra innings, maybe pushes it to around 4 hours. Tell me people would not get pumped up over a home run derby. Tell me people, if you make it to the 11th inning, you don't want a team to win. You want to okay, if you were cheering for your own team, obviously you want your team to try and win in the 11th inning. But don't tell me for 1 second, if it got past the 11th inning, 12th inning, and you had a home run derby, don't tell me that would not excite you. That would make my loins tingle. If I got to see a home run derby to decide a game, come on. That would be fantastic. I think you need to start doing stuff like that. You got to make the game. The game to me is already fun. Yes, everyone that's in here, 192 people that are in the chat. Yes, we can all sit here and watch the game. I'm more worried about, little Billy, that's like, what's this game of baseball? What is this? He's watching a game. I'm more worried about him that's trying to get involved with the game. We can all sit there and watch it because we love it. It's ingrained in our brains. Remember when they did the home run derby? Remember it? Remember when they changed up the rules, when they added the timer? Remember that? Remember that first year? I believe Bryce Harper won that year. Do you have any rave reviews that home run derby got? They were calling it the best home run derby ever. Tell me that would not work. It would absolutely work if you implemented something like that. I'm getting off the rails here a little bit, but I think you need to start doing things like that. You got to make the game just more entertaining. Basketball is constant back and forth. You got dunks left and right. Steph Curry hitting threes left and right. That's where your energy goes up in a basketball game, and a basketball game, that's under a time limit. So people know what they're getting into, yeah, sure. But you could have a tie and go into extras for a basketball game. But, NFL, they implemented some things. I think they need to do something like that with Major League Baseball. I'm just saying. But to me, getting back to the actual rule, I think this is a good thing to do, especially when the bases are empty. When the bases are empty, all right, come on, let's pick up the pace here, right? 14 seconds when the bases are empty. Yeah, give a little more, a few more seconds when runners are on. Sorry, but I agree with this. I think you need to speed up the game. Of course, you're going to have many people, like I've been watching baseball now for years, and there's going to be many people out there that have watched way longer than me that would think it's a terrible idea. I work with kids every day. We cannot, unless you want to somehow think of a way to change how these kids are, I'm sorry. But the future of the game, you need to start doing stuff like this. So take my word for it. I work with second graders every single day. So just take my word for it. Promise. So let's move on to the next one. The bases. So taking a look here, they want, hold on, is this, oh no, that's still on the pitch clock. Where were the bases? Well, they want to increase the bases. It says right here, larger bases. So the main reason for it, they have experimented with it in the past. So back last year, there was an article, so why baseball is experimenting with bigger bases in the minor leagues. Well, simply put, they went from 15-inch to 18-inch. So basically, these players that are sliding off the bases, they're going in so hard. Players are so much more athletic these days. Think of how Ricky Henderson was, back in the day. I mean, you got a whole ton of Ricky Hendersons these days, man. These athletes today, they're just nuts. And they're sliding in, and they're popping off the bags. So I think make the bags bigger. I mean, to me, if it's just going to be a couple inches, who's really going to notice it? Who's really going to notice it? To me, I think players are just so much more athletic these days. I mean, to me, I think making these a little bigger, I think is necessary. I think personally. So that's just me. Let me know what you think down below. But the other one, to me, I go back and forth on this. Shift restrictions. They want to ban the shift. So to me, personally, what I would do, I think teams should have a certain amount of shifts that they can use per game. I think you should have, you can use 5 shifts per game, right? To me, I don't think you should just ban them completely. I think they can be strategic, but I think there should be a limit on what you can use. Because to me, it gets a little much. It does. I'm sitting here saying, Joey Gallo, he was complaining about how, he doesn't get as many hits just because guys are, there's 6 outfielders or whatever he said. And then there's, people that are saying, okay, well, hit oppo, bunt, be a better all-around hitter. And then you got other major leaguers like Lou Merlone. I don't know about that guy, but he says oh, get better. You think it's that easy? You're a professional baseball player. Go get better at it. You got all the coaches in the world. You're getting paid all the money. And Lou Merlone's you think it's that easy? You're a professional baseball player. It's your job. Go get better at it. That's like being a teacher. And, and if I'm not teaching measurement very well and my kids bomb the test, well, that's on me. I need to go get better at that. I'm not going to, the kids, they just don't know how to measure these days. They're just not very good at using a ruler. I'm not going to blame the kids. I'm going to blame myself. And you got Lou Merlone out here saying, oh, you don't think it's that easy? Or you think it's that easy? Yeah, I know it's not easy, but that's life. Go work at it. God, that just drives me insane. However, I think there should be a limit on shifts. I don't think you should ban them completely. Because I think at times, they can be, it comes into strategy a little bit. But when you're looking at how much these teams are shifting these days, I mean, come on. It's getting a little, they're shifting with every single guy, and it's just nah. I think 5 shifts per game, even less, maybe 3, 5, I don't know. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. So those are the 3 rule changes for this year. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. Do you agree with them? Do you like any of them? Do you hate all of them? Let me know what you think. So those are my thoughts on that. All right, everyone. Let's get into some Q&A. We've been live now for, what do we got? We're at about 50 minutes. 50 minutes, so I think I'll hang out here for 15, 20 minutes or so, and we'll do some Q&A. So let's get it started. Here. Q&A time. What do we got here? First question. What do we got? Let's see. Michael Shin. Freeman likely going to Mets, Yanks, or Dodgers. So yeah, I got the Dodgers for Freeman. I got to charge my my iPad real quick. 1 second. But yeah, I got Freeman to the Dodgers. That's just what I think personally. I think the Dodgers, they're going to be willing to spend that money. I don't think the Yankees will. It's going to be really interesting. It's going to be really interesting what happens with the CBT. How much will that increase? If that CBT ends up going, I don't know, around $230 million, you could see the Yankees maybe go after him. Zachary Goldstein, what do we got? Jacob. Let me get to you first because you had one first. Have you watched any of John Boy's Blitzball? No, I have not. I have not watched any of it. I've seen a couple clips. Blitzball looks fun though. Blitzball looks fun. What do we got? Zachary, Robbie, if they ban the shift, what do you think Joey Gallo's average will be? I'd probably say 240, 250. Maybe not even that much. Maybe, I don't know, like 230. Something like that. I don't think he'll be a 300 hitter. But CB Philly, what's going on? Just overall Philly's thoughts, free agents. Bohm, Stott. I think Stott should try and get an opportunity to win the job, honestly. What do we got here? Simply Fog, what's going on? Will the game between you and the minor league team be live? I would imagine it's going to be. I don't know where. I would imagine it's gonna. So we'll have to wait and see. Ricky, how will the Mets do next year? It's going to be the depth of that team. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be interesting. The depth right now, I'm not a big fan of the depth as of right now. Not a big fan of it. So I think if they can, the minor league depth, I think it's going to be a little better this year, but we'll have to wait and see. So I am a little worried about a 162 game season though with the Mets. What do we got? Aiden, with no current Major League Baseball season, how does this affect the development of top prospects? Well, I mean, hey, they're still going. They're still working out there, so I don't think it's going to affect them all that much. Smalls, who do you like for football? Who do you think the Red Sox will sign first? Patriots. I think the Red Sox, I think they're going to get a right-handed bat. I think either Story or Seiya Suzuki. That's who I think one of those. I mean, they were linked to Suzuki before this lockout. So we're going to have to wait and see. Let's see. Baseball sports talk. Are you leaning towards being a teacher and YouTuber or YouTuber full-time? You know, it's really interesting baseball sports talk because I went to a job fair for a different county last year or for yesterday for this upcoming year. And I got offered a couple jobs and, I'm wondering, I'm not a big fan of one of the job offers that I got. And, I don't know. I gotta sit and think. I want to do this full time. That's my goal at the end of the day. Like, I really do. But I'm also, would more of a savings be better, to have that kind of a cushion, I'm just thinking more long term. So I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I definitely want to do this full time, but would maybe one more year of teaching or maybe two, be the right thing to do? I don't know, but we'll have to wait and see. Zachary Goldstein, are you and Fuzzy going to fight during the game? I don't know. No, that's not going to happen. No, that's not going to happen. I don't think so. Me and Fuzzy, we ended up talking, and we kind of realized where each other was coming from. I think people at the end of the day, people are different when they talk to each other through a keyboard, and when you get to person, people are going to say a lot of stuff to you on Twitter. Guarantee people that say stuff to you on Twitter, they wouldn't say that to you in person. I guarantee you on that. The keyboard warrior will succumb if you ever see them in person. I'm not saying Fuzzy's a keyboard warrior. I'm just saying I think people just are different when they're in person. But me and Fuzzy, we came to we saw where each other was coming from. So we're gonna be completely fine. We're trying to beat some minor leaguers. We can't be having an argument during the game. We can't be having an argument. Who is the most undervalued trade piece in baseball right now? Chris Floor. Man, I got to think about that. Undervalued trade piece. Oh, man, you got me on the spot. I don't know. I got to think about that. I don't know. I got to think about it, dude. I'm so on the lockout lately. I haven't even been thinking about like trades all that much. I'll get back to you on that. Yankees and Mets bidding war for Freeman. I wonder if the Mets get involved for Freeman. You know, I don't know. I don't see it. They could. I think he'd be more likely to go to the Yankees. Olsen. I could definitely see Olsen on the Rangers. I definitely could. Be interesting. Rizzo with the Braves. That would be a fallback option, yeah. Bottom 5 farms in baseball. I mean, definitely White Sox. I think the Nationals, the A's, they got work to do. I think the Rockies still got a lot of work to do. I don't know, one more. The Cardinals, they got a couple nice pieces at the top. I'm not the biggest fan of the depth, but I don't know, one more. Angels, I guess. Angels. Nick, what's going on? How will calling time work for batters or pitchers stepping off the mound? I don't know. That's a good question. I'm sure that would have to be addressed. So, Frenzy, other than baseball, what sports do you watch? I really don't watch a lot of other sports, you know? Football and basketball. Football I'll keep an eye on. Basketball I've kind of tuned out. So, you know, with baseball, or with basketball, sorry, I don't know, man. It just got way too political for me a couple of years ago, and I don't want all that. I just want my sports. I don't want politics. So what do we got here? Gregory, names that the Mariners should go after. I've said this until I'm blue in the face. Chris Bryant. Chris Bryant's the guy. I think his versatility would be really nice on that team. Lane, do the Dodgers get Matt Olson? They definitely could get Matt Olson. That's the thing about the Dodgers. They are a scary team out there on the trade market. So, very scary team on the trade market. They definitely could they could get Olson. So, JD, thanks for being a fair content creator with no bias. You are appreciated. Hey, I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. Baseball, what jobs did you get offered? Were they teaching related? Oh, yeah. So the job fair that I went to was a teacher job fair. So, yeah, they were teacher jobs. One was a 5th grade math position. It's at a Title I school. So, I don't know. You know, I don't know. I've been at a non-Title I school for my whole time, and the thought of going to a Title I, like, I already deal with enough behaviors as it is, and then to go to, you know, a Title I where typically behaviors tend to be worse in Title I. I know that's not fair to say of every Title I school, but, you know, I don't know. I'm thinking about it. And then the other ones, it was more, they said they weren't quite sure where they were at based off of like numbers for hiring for next year. So basically they said they would, you know, have my resume and give me a call if they had spots open. So they didn't really tell me any specific grade level. Anyway, Frenzy, do you think the Guardians will trade Jose Ramirez? No, I don't think so. With a, you know, season under a new name, they got to keep their star player. They got to sell tickets. And he's affordable, extremely affordable. Anthony, will we have more games in the 2020 season? I think so. I think we'll see anywhere from 120 to 140. Here we go. What do we got here? Adit Mahmood, what's going on? Does the Orioles reportedly front-loading a potential Correa contract? Dude, you know, when I saw that rumor out there, and I don't know why I never thought of it, you know, because the Orioles, they are close to getting some talent from the minor leagues, and they got Mike Elias as their president of baseball ops, who drafted Carlos Correa. It makes a lot of sense when you really think about it. Now, it's going to be up to Correa if he wants to go to a rebuilding team. I could see him doing it because he's been with the Houston Astros where they've been in the playoffs every single year since 2016. Have they been in the playoffs every single? Yeah, they've been in the playoffs. So would he welcome going to a team that's in a rebuild. They're not too far away. They got guys. I could absolutely see the Orioles signing Correa. I never made that connection before until I saw that rumor that was out there. And I was like, wow, that makes a lot of sense. I definitely think the Orioles could get him. I have said this, though. Greg N., what is going on, my friend? Thank you for subscribing. If there is anyone new, hey, subscribe. We're trying to get to 18,000. We are now within 100 subscribers of 18,000. So hit that subscribe button. You'll be able to comment in the chat as well. I definitely think the Orioles could do it. It just is going to depend. Will Correa want to play there? That's the only thing. He makes a lot of sense. They need a shortstop. It just depends if he wants to go there. So would he be willing to to put up with a rebuild for, especially with the Blue Jays, the Yankees, the Rays, the Red Sox, obviously. So would he want to go to an Orioles team that who knows what they're going to look like in the next few years? So, it's really going to be up to him. But if he gets paid, I have said this from the beginning. I've said this for a while now. Carlos Correa is going to go to a surprise team. I just don't see I thought the Tigers were the most obvious fit. That just made the most sense to me, and he didn't go there. So the Tigers, they weren't willing to go over 300. I could see the Orioles going over 300 for him and going, 10 years. I could see the Orioles doing that. He could be their face of the franchise for the next 10 seasons. I could absolutely see the Orioles doing that. Now that Chris Davis is off the books, they got all the payroll in the world. They got no one committed for the next few years. After this year, I don't think they have any commitments at all. So I had Correa going to the Nationals because he does make sense for them. I think the Nationals are more in a retool. I don't think they're necessarily in a rebuild. I think they're more of a retool. So I could see the Nationals, but they already have a couple of big contracts. Juan Soto, that extension, what's going to happen with him? You could look at it with the Nationals. If they're unable to get Juan Soto to sign an extension, Carlos Correa could be an insurance policy. You could look at it that way. But the usual suspects for Carlos Correa, the Yankees, they already got young shortstops in the minors. They could just go with a bridge guy. The Cubs, it was rumored that they don't want to go that length for Carlos Correa on the amount of years. The Red Sox, I just don't think they're not going to spend that money on him. I don't think they will. They didn't give the money to Mookie Betts, so they went $300 million for Mookie Betts according to reports. And if you're not going to bring back Mookie Betts, then I don't see them going after Carlos Correa. So I don't know. I just don't see them doing that. I think they will get a big name eventually. I just don't think now is the time. Just a lot of these, the Dodgers, I don't see the Dodgers doing it because you got Trey Turner. I don't know. I just don't, there's a question mark with every single team that's been out there. The Orioles are the only team that really doesn't have any question marks with them. The only question mark would be with Correa. So that's it. So, all right, that's enough Carlos Correa. Frenzy, I teach all the subjects, my friend. Jack Braun, what's a Title I school? Title I school is a low-income school where the majority of students or all students get free or reduced lunch. Technical Jeff, will free agent contracts be smaller? No, I don't think they will be, especially with a higher CBT and stuff like that. I don't think they will be. Zachary, is there going to be a new expansion team? What would the team... Ooh, that reminds me. They talked a little bit about the... about the postseason today. Let me actually see. MLB. So that's another thing. I'm actually going to do a separate video on this. I've actually been going at it on Twitter about the expanded postseason. Honestly, the more I think about a 14-team postseason, I really think it makes a lot of sense. If it were to help get a deal done, I really think they should do it. I really do. So let me actually show you here. So I was tweeting this yesterday. The more I think about a 14-team postseason, the more I'm okay with it. And just what you were saying here, Zachary, you asked if there's going to be a new expansion team, what would you want the team to be named? I guess it just depends on where it is. Nashville, you could do like the Nashville Rockers or something like that. You know, you go to Las Vegas, I don't know, the Las Vegas Stars, something like that. I don't know. But this is why I'm actually okay. That's one of the reasons I'm okay with a 14-team postseason if it gets a deal done, if it helps get a deal done. I would prefer 12, but if it helps get a new CBA and a season started, I would do it. Because one reason, Major League Baseball, they want to expand at some point anyway. They want 2 new teams. So, and supposedly that has been a thing among the players where Panda Waffle HD has just subscribed. What's going on? They want expanded teams, and the players, they're more like, all right, hey, if you can guarantee, that we're going to have some expansions, if we're going to have an expansion, then okay, we're more willing to do the 14 team. They want to expand. You're going to get more money involved as it is, more postseason teams, you're going to have that playoff, money pool, guys are going to get more money. Making the playoffs, you get more money from all the TV deals. So more players are going to get paid. But the big thing, for me personally, I think you're going to be able to get more young superstars. You have more of a chance for these young superstars to get on the field. If we had the 14-team postseason last year, we would have seen Vlad Jr., we would have seen Bryce Harper. I know he's not a young superstar, but he was the NL MVP. We would have seen Bryce Harper in the playoffs. Vlad Jr., I mean, tell me you would not get excited at Vlad Jr., hitting bombs in postseason baseball. I mean, everyone would love that. But more superstars on the big stage. And you know why that's important? Because here's the deal. Here's the deal. Jeffrey Hiltz, what's going on, my friend? How are we doing? So, this is another tweet that I did. Let's be real here. Major League Baseball's best advertising is postseason baseball. Who out there is watching, that's a basketball fan? You're strictly an NBA fan, you're, Chicago Bulls, and then maybe you're, flipping through the channels, maybe your Bulls aren't playing. Oh, we got a super chat coming in. Mets Nation. Hey, Robbie, you see the Mets trading for Castillo? I don't think they have the prospects to get it done. Castillo's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot. He's going to cost around $65 to $70 million of value. I just don't see it. I don't think the Mets have enough prospects to get it done. Could they throw in Jeff McNeil? Sure. But his value dropped quite a bit last year. So I don't know. I don't see the Mets doing it. I don't think they're a good trade partner. He makes a lot of sense for them. I think the Mets need a lefty, honestly. But getting back to this, hey, Chicago Bulls fan. He's, his Bulls aren't playing that night. It's October. Season just started for the NBA. I think it starts in October, right? The postseason or basketball season starts in October, right? Or November? I don't know, whatever. So whatever. Let's just say someone's flipping through the channels. Oh, what's this? Major League Baseball postseason. Huh. Well, I guess, it's the playoffs. Let's go watch. Do you think that guy's going to turn on a White Sox Orioles game? No. He's more likely going to turn on some postseason baseball. So the more stars that you have on the big stage, that's only going to help advertise your product. So that's just where I'm at. And I just saw that, and for teams with losing records to make the playoffs. No, I don't. So we've had, I think, over the last, like, 10 years? I think we've had like 5 or 6 teams with a losing record that would have made it. I think honestly, if teams have baseball sports talk, I'll get to that in 1 second. I think if teams, and let me actually go back to my last, one of my other tweets here. This could entice teams to spend more with more chances to get in. I know you have that argument where, well, maybe teams wouldn't spend more because maybe they could just end up in the postseason by accident without having to spend money. I don't buy that. I don't buy it. To me, if I'm owning a team and I got a chance to make the postseason, I would invest a little money, because if my team can get to the postseason, that's only going to improve my product. That's only going to improve my brand. So that's what I think, honestly. But let me get back to some of these super chats here. Baseball sports talk, NL and AL East predictions. We're still, it's still early. We still got so many free agents out there. It's kind of hard to say. Early picks, I'm going Blue Jays in the AL East and the National League East. Honestly, I'll go Braves. Because I think they have the best minor league depth. Out of those competitive teams, the Phillies, not too much depth in that minor league system. The Mets, not a lot of depth there. When it comes to a full season, the Mets organization as a whole is the strongest. So I'll go Braves and Blue Jays. JDS third. Who is first to 500 mil? Oh, Soto. No, Judge isn't getting 500. No way. Judge is not getting 500. He'll get, with his injury history, I don't know, man. It's really going to be a big question mark of a season for him. I think this season is really going to determine what kind of a contract he ends up getting. If he's healthy for this whole season, yeah. I think he could get 300. It depends on the years, honestly. I just wonder how many years he's going to end up getting. I could see, like, for him, like a 6-year, I don't know, if I were to do, like, I could definitely see a 30 million per year. Or like 35 or 32. I don't know. I could see maybe like a 7-year, $200 million contract for him. I wonder if teams are really going to want to go a 10-year deal with him. I think Soto's the guy for $500 million. So, what else we got here? Dill Pickle. What's going on, my friend? How you doing? Do you see the Mets getting Trevor Bauer? No. He'll be a Dodger. What do we got? Panda Waffle, what's going on? How many points does the shift ban improve the league-wide average, do you think? I think, so like, hold on, how many points does the shift ban improve the league-wide average? I think you're asking, like, how many runs would it decrease, or how many runs would increase? I think that's what you're asking. I think you would definitely see some more offense with less shifts. Absolutely. Do you think the Mets should bring in a fourth outfielder, or maybe a guy like Chris Bryant? Chris Bryant would fit well. I want the Mets to add some more starting pitching depth if they can. Rosenthal. Baseball sports talk. What are we saying here? Oh. Okay. What's this? Bit of a development here. What do we got here? Major League Baseball willing to increase first luxury tax threshold if players move in other areas. Okay. So this is what I was saying. I think going back to what my CBA would look like. I don't know if I've mixed up CBT and CBA at all but I mean to say CBA. I think the CBT should start at 225. So let's see what Ken Rosenthal is saying. Does he give a number? For the league to move closer to the union's desired thresholds, which start at $238 million, it would want a variety of adjustments, including a pre-arbitration bonus pool lower than the union's latest proposal. Okay, so that's what I was saying. I think $50 million. I'll go 50, and sharp penalties. That's the thing. Like, to me, I think that's fair. I remember Alex Wood or someone came out there and said, what's the point of increasing the CBT if you're just going to increase the penalties? What? You're getting more flexibility to spend. And if you go over it, then yeah, you're going to but you're getting more flexibility. Now, if you're increasing the penalties and, keeping the CBT around the same, well then yeah, that's silly. But you're getting $28 million more than last year. That's a Scott Boras client. But Alex Wood is out here they're increasing the penalties. It's not gonna make it any better. It's well, yes, it will. I mean, you're getting $28 million more. It's Alex Wood, go eat a sandwich, dude. Perhaps most important, it would want the union to accept a streamlined process for implementing rule changes. I mean, this is where if they're so far apart, they're going to have to look at little things, to get the deal closer. So, the union, in its latest proposal to the league on Sunday, agreed to grant the league the ability to institute a pitch clock, larger bases, and shift restrictions. The league wants the ability to make other changes for subsequent years within 45 days at the end of the season. Such changes would be implemented upon the recommendations of a competition committee composed of more league than union representatives, effectively giving Rob Manfred the power to act as he chooses. In previous CBAs, the commissioner had the unilateral right to implement changes only after a year's notice. Okay, so basically, Major League Baseball, they will be willing to come up on the CBT if the players come down on the bonus pool and if they can have quicker process to have rule changes. And then, yeah. As the owner's lockout continues, the thresholds remain a major sticking point. Oh, but then also more penalties as well. So I guess the Major League Baseball would be okay to come up on the CBT, but the penalties are going to have to come up. I think that's fair. I don't know. JL Braswell just subscribed. What's going on? Owners are at least somewhat divided on how to increase the threshold. I saw a lot of people, to me, it's like the Angels. I saw a lot of people saying, well, the Angels, they spend all these, big contracts. Well, they don't ever, it's not very often they're over that CBT. At least I don't think. I could be wrong, but I don't think the Angels go over it very much. I think they have a couple of times. But I could see Art Moreno totally being against that, because he gives all these guys these big contracts and they don't make the playoffs. So I'm not saying he is right. I'm just saying I could see him being against it, because it's I don't think owners being against a higher CBT is the worst thing in the world. The small market teams. The Tigers are interesting, but I don't know. To me, I don't think going over the CBT, it's I just think it's I don't think that doesn't guarantee that you're going to win. Everyone thinks going over the CBT and spending all this money is going to win you a championship. It helped the Red Sox in 2018. Who else did it help? The Dodgers in 2020, but does that count? I don't know, based off of the payrolls and everything and how that worked. I mean, the Red Sox, I think, are the only team in the last, 10 years to go over the CBT and win a World Series. Doesn't guarantee you a championship. I mean, yeah, sure, it could help you get to the playoffs, but I don't know. So, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. But So yeah, it's pretty much that. So, nothing crazy here. Major League Baseball, they will come up on the CBT if the players will come down on the bonus pool, make rule changes a little bit quicker, and agree to increase penalties. I think that is the big one. Increasing the penalties, I think, are the big thing. If you want to hire a CBT, well, then we got to increase these penalties because we don't want the Yankees and the Red Sox and the Dodgers spending like crazy. We want teams like the Brewers, the White Sox. We want these mid to small market teams to be able to have a chance on some of these guys, So if there's a CBT that prevents or that is keeping a team where they don't want to go over that line, then if a team doesn't want to go over the line, then so be it. You can fit a lot of decent sized contracts right now under $210 million. You can fit a lot of good sized contracts there. So 238, again, that's another Scott Boras client. So interesting, definitely interesting. I think we are going to have something resolved by the end of the month. I do. I really do think we're going to have something resolved. So Dill Pickle. If he retires, if Rob Manfred retires, who do you think will be the commissioner? I have no idea. Who knows? I got no clue. Chris NY24, not that I'm expecting a deal to get done this week, but when do you think it'll get done? I think by the end of the month. I hope by the end of the month. Hopefully sooner. Hopefully in the next couple of weeks. I think that'd be great. If we only miss 2-3 weeks of a season, we can deal with that. We've made it this far, but I don't want to be going into, June, July. I think mid-April, May, if we can get something then, I'm okay with that. Have a 140, 150 game season. I think that's fine. Could a guy like Story go to the Mets and play second? I don't think so. They got a lot of guys on that bench. I don't think so. Especially with Cano coming back. Dill Pickles. Trust me, if you're a Yankee fan, yeah, absolutely. You want to be spending money. I get that. So, but, I'm a Red Sox fan. I would love for my Red Sox to go out and spend all the money. When is the next meeting scheduled? I think I read somewhere maybe tomorrow. I could be wrong. What do we got here? Technical Jeff, check out Bauer's new tweet. Trevor Bauer. Someone said to him, my God, all you players do is complain. Play the game. Trevor Bauer. I'd love to. If you haven't heard, we're locked out. What is this? Someone said, maybe we can finally ban stealing bases. Bases should be respectfully asked for and given only in favorable conditions to the home team. Trevor Bauer says it's about time. Oh, man. Oh, Trevor Bauer. He'll be back this year. Yeah, Eric Bauer will be on the Dodgers in a month or two. He'll be there by the All-Star break. And then everyone's going to be up in arms about it. Everyone on Twitter is going to act like their feelings are hurt. And then everyone's going to forget about it after 2 weeks. So, I wouldn't say everyone, but I know there's going to be people like, oh my God, no, he shouldn't be pitching. He got cleared. Everything got thrown out. It got dismissed. So, and in 2 weeks, he's going to pitch and everyone's going to forget about it. Brian, Angels don't need a shortstop. They need pitching. Here's the thing, Brian. They need both. They do need a shortstop. Is Tyler Wade your shortstop? Are you moving David Fletcher to short? Is Tyler Wade going to be your second baseman? Who's playing short? You need a shortstop. They were awful in shortstop defense last year. They need a shortstop and pitching. Trevor Story, I think, could be interesting. The Phillies seem like the team that's most affected by the CBT. They've always been right next to it, and they just went over it. That's the thing. The owner he never wants to go over that CBT. I I wonder if, that has to do with sales, whatever, their revenue I wonder what the Phillies' revenue is over the last few years. I'd have to look into that. 161 River Ave. What's going on, my friend? 161 River Ave. I swear. I'll see a tweet or like a report, and then like 10 minutes later, you've already got a video up. I'm like, how the heck is he doing it that quick? 161 River Ave. Everyone go subscribe. The bigger basis thing is there's some kind of mutant draft coming for huge guys. I think these guys are just so athletic these days. These guys are they're faster, they're stronger, and they're sliding into these bases and they're going past them. So, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Yeah, 161, man, dude. Like, I swear today, I saw a tweet from, from Heyman. I got the little ding on my phone, went on YouTube 15 minutes later. I swear it was like 15 or 20. You already had a video up. I was like, dang, man. I was like, how are you even uploading it that quick? YouTube, it takes me, if I upload like a 10-minute video, it like slows down. I don't know why. It's like slow for me. I don't know. YouTube hates me. What else we got? I'll take a couple more here. Oh, man, I got to go get my laundry. In my apartment, I don't have a washer dryer. I have a community room, and they close at 11. Got to go get my clothes. Yeah, 161, man. The processing, the checking, it's so annoying. I had a video. I'm not kidding. I uploaded something, and it took over an hour to process. I'm like, I uploaded it, and then I had to edit something out of it, and it took like over an hour to process. It was the worst, man. AB, how do you feel with players wanting go? You know what? Let's end here. AB, this is my last question. How do you feel with players wanting ghost wins? I think it's ridiculous. Why? Ghost wins? That's stupid. I don't like it at all. I do not like that. Ghost wins? Are you kidding? Like, for the owners, I could totally see them hating that because it's just like, well, we're trying to expand the postseason and we're not, and you're just giving a game for free. Like, we're not making anything off of that. Like, I understand the players too, because they want the division winners to have some kind of legitimacy. Here's what you do. 175 people in the chat. Here's what you do. Wild card tournament. Wild card tournament. Division winners, they advance to the division round. 4th seed plays the 7th seed. 5th seed plays the 6th seed. 1-game playoff in the first, and then have a 1-game playoff for whoever wins both of those. That team goes to play the 1 seed in the division round. Tell me a wild card tournament would not be fun. Tell me. Whatever. It would be an extra, probably an extra 5 days of baseball. So the teams that won their division would have to sit around a little bit. I do understand that because players, they want their routine. I get that. But don't do ghost wins. That is so, I hate that. I hate that. Just giving a team. What is happening? Someone is knocking. What is that? Did anyone hear that? I think I may be being a little loud. I think my neighbor was banging on the wall. Oh my God. I don't know if she was nailing something or if she was knocking. Anyway, but yeah, ghost wins. I'm not a fan. I am not a fan of the ghost wins. Division winners, I do think they need to get something. That's why I think just give them a bye. Give them a bye to the first round. I think that's what needs to happen. Personally, that's how I would do it. But what do I know? I'm just a potato sitting at my desk. But everyone, that is all I have for tonight. We've gone over everything on the negotiations today. We went over all the new proposals from the Players Association. We covered the new rule changes that are looking like looks like they're agreed upon. So larger bases, a pitch clock, banning of the shift, or at least some kind of a limit on the shift. But we'll have to wait and see. Hopefully, we are getting closer to some kind of an agreement. So, everyone, I'm going to call it there. I will be back with something tomorrow night, whether that's a live stream or a video. Be on the lookout for that. Everyone, if you can, on the way out, if anyone is still new, think about hitting that subscribe button, hit the like button. Everyone, let me see the likes right now. We're at 106 likes. Everyone, if we can get to 150 likes before we get out of here, let's hit that like button. Share any of the content, hit the bell notification on your way out. Everyone, have yourself a good night, and I'll talk to you next time.